With a piece in my hand and bloodshot eyes, I walked to the water for a last goodbye. He begged so much, it clouded my mind. One thing's clear, the man's gotta die. Man makes right, so he said, when he held all the keys over our head. I lived in that grip, but now he'll learn at the end with the tables turned. Lord, forgive me. Take me on down the river where the guilt can't find a red-handed sinner. On where the grave can't cry out, 'cause I done wrong. Down the river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger. And before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Take me on down. Well, I sank that body by the riverbank, caught a boat sap, took off like a hurricane. With spotlights, dogs, yeah, the whole 9 yards. Of breathing down my neck and breathing hard. 2 weeks in a wild chase across the highways, mountains, over 7 states. Found a man at the harbor, said that he could take me across the ocean somewhere far away. Lord, forgive me. Take me on down the river where the guilt can't find a red-handed sinner. On where the grave can cry. Down the river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger. And before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Take me on down. On the boarding planks now, staring down a barrel at point blank range. I'm made for the water, jumping off the ledge, but not before it gets through to the chest. Now there's blood and water filling up my lungs. Blood and water filling up my lungs. My heart is beating like a fading drum. Lord, forgive me, here I come. Take me on. Can't find a red-handed sinner. Oh, take me on where the grave can't cry out. 'Cause I done wrong. Down a river with a hand on a Colt and a finger on the trigger. And long before dawn they try to find me. So take me on down. Oh, take me on down.
Welcome to Trucker Talk Live, where we hear from you, the hard-working men and women of the highway. Now, here's your host, Brittney Richardson.
Hello guys, welcome to Trucker Talk Live. We have an awesome show tonight. Let me get the outline. First, we're going to be doing a giveaway. We're going to be spinning the wheel and announcing the winner of the wireless headset, the Pluto Duo. Very excited. Next, we're going to have 2 guest callers. Hopefully, both of them are available. And one of them of which is going to be Sadie from CDL Life. She has been riding with me in the truck all week and going to give an update on a possible second tour for next week. So I'm so excited to fuel America's heroes. This is Jake, by the way. Jake, our microphone, who has an echo. He doesn't get along well with my headset. So if I talk like a drunk woman tonight, that is what is happening. I'm getting this weird feedback thing. So we'll see how this goes. Hopefully less technical issues than last time. We're going to discuss freight rates tonight as well. We're hoping to hear from Paul Martin and discuss freight rates. And he is an owner operator. So we will be trying to get a hold of him just in a few minutes. And then if we have time, we're going to take callers. So we will see how this goes. But first, we have a headset to give away. And I'm very, very excited. There we go. Cue the music. Now, how do I cut my front cam? There we go. The Pluto by Stellar Electronic. This is the Pluto Duo that we will be giving away tonight and spinning the wheel to see who wins a free Pluto. This is awesome. I am so excited. Stellar Electronic has been amazing. So let's see, without further ado, let's move on over. Not commercial break. We need desktop capture. Let's go. There we go. Learning the electronics. It is always fun. Okay, are you guys ready? We are gonna spin the wheel and see who wins tonight's free headsets. Let's go. In 3, 2, 1. Who will it be? Becky Owens. Becky, you have won a free. If I can switch back over. Where are we at here? Where's my camera? I need a electronics person. I really do. Come on. Come on. Display capture inputs. There we go. Becky, you have won the Pluto Duo. So be sure to PM us on one of the platforms. And if I don't see the PM, I will contact you and track you down. So congratulations, Becky. But we have another winner to pick, and that is for second place, which is for a 25% off code for this duo. So let's go back over. Let's go to display capture. We're gonna spin for second place. And it looks like Mandy McFarland. Mandy McFarland, you have won second place, which is a 25% discount code for this for this Stellar Electronic Pluto Duo. So congratulations to both of you guys. Be sure to contact us and we will get you hooked up. So first of all, I wanted to give you guys, before we go to our guest callers, I wanted to give you guys an update on the Fueling Our Heroes mission. We have been across the country this week in multiple cities. We went as far as Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and met so many drivers. It was such an awesome time being able to meet you guys and hear your stories. And rather than ramble on about it, I'm going to show you guys a little video of kind of what was happening this week. Our whole trip, like, nobody's had food other than just potato chips and candy bars. I mean, that's been it. So We had so much appreciation from drivers. We heard so many stories last night, even some that are pretty well going under right now and didn't know what they were going to do, like for food, owner ops, and the freight rates are down, and they were so happy that we were out here.
In that box right now. Mold breakers, movers and shakers. Don't ever silence your voice. Dream makers, risk takers. Don't ever silence your voice. If you think you were made just to blend right in, to avoid big mistakes or to tally your sins, you might get to the end doing nothing wrong, to find you never lived at all. Mold breakers, movers and shakers. Don't ever silence your voice.
Without truck drivers, this nation would stop. And it's about time that we appreciate them.
Don't ever silence your voice. Take them all back now. Compromises were made, so we'll never fall. Fear disguises being realistic.
Yes, it is. I do.
Don't ever silence your voice. Dream makers, risk takers. Don't ever silence your voice.
We faced all kinds of weather, but we didn't let that stop us. And the smiles, they made it all worth it. So that's just a little bit of what we experienced over the road. We heard so many stories, guys. Like, there were so many times me and Sadie were about in tears just hearing the stories from the drivers, things that they're experiencing. That last couple you saw was stuck there at that rest area and they had no food, like literally. We're not talking, oh, they had a stock, but all they had was vending machines. I mean, literally, they had no food. And they had no load for like 3 days. 3 days sitting in a parking lot. And most of these rest areas do not have access to food, even in a vending machine. They've got them shut down. And God, the one we went to in Pennsylvania, and I cannot remember the city. It was just outside of Pittsburgh, outside a construction zone northbound. And we went inside and there were signs. They had everything locked down. Like you couldn't access the vending machine. You couldn't access water. Like there was one driver that came in just wanting water. Like it was insane. It was insane. So, but this couple, these team drivers, they were stuck in this parking lot at this rest area and they literally had no food whatsoever. They told us that they were prepared to not eat for 3 days because that was when their next load was and when their settlement came through or whatever. So they were just not going to eat. And they were so blessed coming over, seeing that we were giving away food to truck drivers, and not just food. It's good food, like good, fresh food. This stuff was refrigerated. It's tasty, it's nutritious, and we made sure they were not going to go hungry for the next 3 days. That was one thing that we were adamant about. Also, we've had a lot of sponsors get involved that I think should be noted. We have had Volvo Trucks got involved and sponsored this project and helped us buy the products to be able to give to truck drivers. So thank you so much, Volvo. And of course, CDL Life is they're the ones who are leading this project. They contacted me, which we'll hear more about when we get Sadie. She's getting a little bit tied up at the moment, so we're waiting for her to get out of an appointment. We're hoping to go to Sadie first and find out more. But no, it was CDL Life approached me and asked if I would be willing as a truck driver to help out with this project. And of course I said yes immediately. And also Cobra Electronics has gotten involved. Here is one of their shirts. As a matter of fact, the truck that drove by, if we can get it past Jake. The trucker, the trucking couple that drove by in the truck and she was waving from the window, she was wearing one of their shirts. So Cobra Electronics, you guys are awesome. They stopped by and gave us a bunch of hats, belt buckles. They supplied us personally with CBs and electronics to be able to communicate with you guys over the road. So I cannot thank Cobra enough. And guys, you should have seen all of the smiles. They go, "Oh, how much are the shirts? Like, do they cost anything?" We're like, "No, they're free." Like, Cobra came here just to say thank you to America's truck drivers and show that they support you. Same with Volvo. Also, this couldn't have happened without RTI, Riverside Transport in Kansas City. Bill, our owner, made sure that we had everything that we need to mobilize this week and make this happen. So we couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much, Riverside Transport, for making this happen. So many cool people have been involved, and like I said, so many cool stories that we have heard over the road. It looks like let me see here, I think Sadie is still tied up in an appointment, so just as soon as she gets free, we're going to connect with her. By the way, guys, when we are live, like, other than the videos and a basic outline and things like that, I don't plan like everything I say. Like, literally, we're going live to have discussions about you, to hear from you guys and allow you guys to have a voice. And so we never know like what's going to be said or what everything that's going to be discussed. But I will tell you, we took a poll this week of the top issues that people, truck drivers and supporters, want to hear talked about. And it goes as follows: freight rates being a huge thing right now because so many drivers are suffering. Like, there was so many, God, I keep getting bunny trail, right? But there were so many, like, we met owner operators who were going to go under. They're like days from going under in their business. And it made their day when we were out there supporting them and handing them food and saying, "We're rooting for you." But so many stories. So we're going to talk about freight rates tonight and discuss things that an owner operator can do, things that truck drivers can do right now to navigate around this. Like, what can we do? Because we've got all these obstacles thrown at us right now with COVID-19. The other that came up was logs. So discussing logs and legal issues, automatic trucks, and lastly, can we drive barefoot? And I think more specifically, probably, can Brittney drive barefoot and film it. Film it. Echo. Jake. Echo. Please get along with me. So I get that a lot. So no offense to the foot fetish people, but that's always one of the top things that we get asked. Can you film driving barefoot? So I'm officially putting it on the record. But I think this was geared more towards legally, are we allowed to drive barefoot or in flip-flops, etc. So anyway, we're going to, let me check on Sadie real fast. Like I said, this is kind of an unpredictable show. Looks like Sadie's still tied up. Paul, Paul Martin, if Paul is watching, can you go ahead and try to call through? I do not have Paul's direct number here, so let me see if I can pull. Let me see if I can pull this up here. Here, let me message Paul, guys, right live on the air. We will get through this one way or another. You guys have no idea like how nerve-wracking it is when you're trying to coordinate like so many electronics and open broadcasting software. I do not have a team of people. Like, it is me, myself, and I. Like, I'm doing this whole thing. So I have a limited budget, but I believe in maximizing your potential. So I'm taking on quite the feat. I'm like the behind the scenes person and everything. So let me message Paul real fast. Okay, let's send this over to Paul. Let's use the sniffles. Okay. Sadie is tied up. So let's see if we can get Paul on the line. There we go with the drunk stuff. I swear, somebody's going to send this to DOT and say, she's like so drunk. Like, something's wrong with this woman. She should not be behind the wheel. It is my mic. It is my mic. Jake, please get along with me. Okay, looks like we may have Paul calling through. Let me try to answer here. It would help if I didn't have it set on Do Not Disturb. So let's see. I think this is Paul, but I'm not sure because I did not get his number. Let me try to call.
Hello.
Hey, this is Brittany with Trucker Talk Live. You're live on the air.
Hey, Brittany.
Hey, is this Paul?
Yep, it's Paul.
I should have confirmed your phone number like before this whole thing, and I totally got sidetracked on all the tech issues that I had. So I'm like, is this really Paul calling or who is this?
Okay.
So what are you up to? Why don't you tell us who you are and kind of what you do and what you're up to?
My name's Paul. I'm from Virginia. I've been on the road since '84. I'm an Army veteran of 8 years, 3 tours. I pull for a company out of Arkansas. And I travel across the United States delivering freight and everything else.
Out in the middle of all of this mess with the freight
Of
rates and
course.
everything else. So you're an owner-operator then? Is that
Yes.
right? So how have you dealt with the freight rates? Because I'm hearing all these stories from people saying we're having to take freight at like $1 something a mile, and these are owner-operators.
Yeah, there is freight out there that some of the people have, the brokers have offered, gouge the price. But there's brokers out there that aren't gouging the price, and you just got to get with a good broker and a decent company where you can pull. I mean, I have friends that they got one freight that goes up to the middle, like Wisconsin. It pays like $2.50 a mile, but then some of their freight coming back, they had a broker who wanted to pay only 97 cents, so they got rid of that broker and went elsewhere.
So there are still loads available that pay at higher rates.
Yeah, there still are loads around that pay at a higher rate. I mean, like all those drivers out of Houston that protested about the brokers. Yeah, because Houston area, you got Anheuser-Busch down there, you got Suntech and all that. Yeah, of course they want to gouge the freight because then they don't have to pay it. That's
Hmm.
what they want to do. I mean, they're taking advantage of everybody. I mean, did you know that some of the places that like you go to get their food and stuff at the truck stops on the bottom now they have COVID-19 tax? Did you know that?
COVID-19 tax?
Yes,
I did not know that. What is this?
it's places that because they want to make profit on this and they for sanitizing. That's what the tax is. They're charging it because they have to sanitize more.
Oh, God. Shouldn't that be? I would think
It,
something like that would be in their business model. Like, aren't the companies adjusting their profit margins, everything else? Like, don't they have the budget to account for situations like this?
no, they don't. That's the problem. And I mean, because they had to let you figure how many places have let workers off, and now they're down to a skeleton crew, and these workers don't want to work that much because they're afraid of being out here.
Hmm.
So with them doing that, I mean, now you got places that don't even want to serve the truckers. They don't want nobody in the buildings, nothing. But then there's
Hmm.
places that do allow them in the building, and like where I'm at now, they have reopened up the restaurant, but it's limited to seating, you know. But I mean, like a friend of mine sent me a picture. He had to pay a COVID-19 tax out in California, and I was like, "You got to be kidding me!"
That is insane. Especially that is disappointing to me. Jake, Echo, Mike, please. I'm getting this weird feedback loop. It's terrible. I got to get this figured out. Anyway, you would think that the truck stops would support the drivers. You would think that the trucking industry would support each other during this time and not go, hey, we're going to tax the hell out of them to make a profit.
But but see, you got to remember, there is no such thing as a truck stop anymore. It's a travel center.
Mm.
I mean, yeah, we still call them as us drivers, we call them truck stops. But if you notice, the names have changed to travel centers
Hmm.
because you got the RVs, you got uh, cars pulling trailers, and they can't rely on the truck drivers anymore because there's a lot of drivers out here that will cook in their truck, and they got to make money. That's where you came up with paid parking.
Hmm.
So they changed them to travel centers. So now, you got, let's see, like on the East Coast, you got a couple truck stops, travel centers that have Golden Corral in them.
Golden
I don't
Corral,
know.
seriously?
Yeah, like the 104 in Virginia, the 109 in Elkton, Maryland on 95 have a Golden Corral in it. Well, you got the public going into these.
Mm.
And then if they decided, hey, I want to have a party, a reception or something, birthday party at this place, they take up all the seats. Now the drivers have nowhere to eat.
Oh God. They shouldn't allow
I've been,
that. Like if it's a travel center, they should schedule that elsewhere. Like that's very unfair to our drivers.
I've been down the south, and they had a section closed off on a Sunday in a Denny's, and I was like, okay. And the lady's like, yeah, we have no seats because we have a church group coming in.
Oh God.
And I'm like, this is a truck stop travel center. That's supposed to be open to us so we can eat. Oh, but
Hmm.
you know, sorry, we're closed.
That's crazy.
And that's what these places are doing.
Hmm.
But there is freight out there that it's at a decent rate. I mean, it's not sky high like it used to be. I mean, you're not going to get your $3.50, $4. You might get 2.50, 2.60. But then there's freight. It's $1.50. There's a freight. It's $1. I mean, you just got to pick and choose.
Hmm. And be in the
You
right
got to
position for picking up other freight that's going to pay at least something as well, right?
right. I mean, yeah, I was out in Portland, Oregon, and I pulled it. a load out of California that paid me $1.45. I mean, what did it hurt me? Yes and no, because the freight after that was 265. I pulled out.
Hmm.
I mean, but there are brokers out here that are actually gouging, and some companies are saying, "Hey, we're going to take advantage of this."
Yeah, I was going to ask what we can do, what the transportation industry can do to help this situation or help prevent this in the future.
There's actually the only people that could actually do anything. The transportation is the government, the federal government, to step in, like they did with the when there was a gas shortage, oil shortage, and they stepped in and said, "Hey, you can't go no lower than this."
Hmm.
I mean, they got to somebody's got to step in and say something about this because, I mean, yeah, they put stimulus packages out there for this for the drivers and for the American people, but yet businesses like for the stimulus package was made for small businesses and places like Denny's that doesn't have a group of more than 25 people in one area got advantage of that. So they
Hmm.
turned around and said, "Okay, we're going to take out 20 million out of this."
Hmm.
And that's what a lot of them did. So that's why they had to redo another stimulus package and rewrite it for basically small corporate companies, not corporations, companies, less
Hmm.
than so many.
Thank God. I mean, it's ridiculous every time. That's the bad thing is like every time you have some big stimulus package, it seems to go to the largest corporations first. It seems like they take it all. The ones that don't necessarily need it. Not saying that some big corporations don't need it, but they're in a better position to prepare. I mean, I would think so.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I got my stimulus package. Everybody got the 1,200, but I applied for a couple other ones. I mean, just in case. I mean, if I have to use them, I use them. If not, I'll pay what I have to pay on them.
Hmm.
But I mean, there's people out here that will get them and don't really need them. They're
Hmm.
just lining their pockets.
Right. I agree completely. I do think there needs to be some sort of regulation. I
Right. I mean,
swear to
I
God.
think yeah, me and you talked about, I think, about the people that right now are on unemployment that
Hmm.
worked in some places. Now, say they're only making $300 a week. Now they're in a state that makes they're getting the max because they can write on the unemployment form COVID-19 due to the virus. Well, as soon as they write that, they're getting the max. So
Mm.
if you're in a state, it's getting say 425 a week in unemployment. That's more than what you made, and now you're getting the 600 from the government. So you're getting 1,025 a week, three times the amount that you were working for. Why would you come back to work till your unemployment's up?
Yeah, no kidding. I wouldn't want to.
I mean, I understand what the government did to help out, but I mean, but some of these people are now they're going to take advantage of it,
Hmm.
and then once that runs out, they're going to be like, "Oh no, I need a job."
Hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, it's funny out here. I understand what's going on. I mean, us as American people, I think we got too relaxed of our issues of what we were taught when we were young to go in the bathroom, wash our hands and face, and come out clean.
Hmm.
And people got relaxed about cleaning things. And with all this going on, you're going to see a lot of change in a lot of places now that they're going to have to actually disinfect and clean their areas.
Hmm.
Or places might be shut down after this that because you know the board of health is going to come in. Hey, this isn't sanitized.
Hmm.
to our standards now. So we're shutting you down till you can get sanitized.
Exactly. I think we just became too lax. I really do.
Right.
I hope that America comes out of this with a lot of clean hands and clean asses.
You know, like my joke is, I wash my hands so much, my hands are drunk.
Yeah, no kidding, right?
Yeah, you got everybody washes their hands. The first thing they do is go to the hand sanitizer.
That is so true. That is so true. So are you going to be able to, by the way, guys, me and Sadie both met Paul out in Kingdom City, Missouri, and got to have a good conversation with him. We commented on the situation with the window. Can we talk about that? What happened with the windshield?
Oh, my window? Oh, yeah. I went bird hunting. I don't think I was supposed to go bird hunting. I don't even have a license.
Yeah, how does that go in a truck?
Dogs thought that the turkey vulture was coming in to get them.
Yeah, we literally are walking in the parking lot. We're handing out food, and we look over, and there's this white, beautiful Volvo, same model as mine. It's the V860, right? And
Yep, the VNL 60.
VNL, yeah, exactly. And his windows like smashed at the top and kind of crushed in, and we're like, "What the hell happened to your window?"
And of course, I showed you guys the video.
I'll have to share that with you guys. So you had a turkey, right? Go through the window?
It was a turkey vulture.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, some people call them stink bugs alongside the road because, when you hit them, they do smell.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's all they do is eat dead flesh.
I bet that's lovely.
Yeah. I got up close and personal. Not on my passenger side, but on the driver's side. He got up close and personal with me.
You handle it very well. He didn't swerve. As a matter of fact, I'm surprised he seemed so calm on the dash cam footage.
Yeah, I shared that with a bunch of friends of mine, and they're like, "Yeah, you've been through a lot, and it's like an ordinary day in the trucking industry to me," as they say.
Oh God, I forgot about the semi accident and the other stuff that you have seen.
Yeah.
We see a lot out here. Like, I remember sharing some clips on my YouTube, and I had some drivers that were like, "Oh, this is fake. Where'd she get that footage? You can't come across that much stuff as a truck driver." I'm like, "Really?
No.
Really? Have you driven for any length of time?"
Well, like I call a lot of the drivers. I drive all times of day. Don't matter if it's at night or during the day. But then you got the drivers, as I call them. It's you're the day walkers. They only want to drive during the day, or like my friend calls them, solar power drivers.
Mm-hmm.
And they might see something, but most of your stuff happens at dusk and dawn. You'll find out. Especially like full moon. They say full moon brings the crazy people out. It sure does.
It does. Yeah, it really does. It really does. I hate to mention it because I get criticized, but I used to be in law enforcement. I used to be on a fire department as well, and it rang true every time there was a full moon. It would be all out chaos. Has to be something about the magnetic forces and how they affect people. I don't know what it is, but it pans out to be true, like clockwork.
Yeah. You go sit at the ER in a hospital. My sister's an X-ray tech. She's been there 39 years. They got pictures of X-rays on the wall from years of what come in on a full moon, and you wouldn't be surprised at what it is.
Oh, it's crazy. It's crazy. And especially don't say the Q word in the ER. Don't say, hey guys, it seems quiet tonight. I made that mistake. I
Yes.
was about ran out of the building.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's the same in the trucking industry, but I
Hmm.
mean, getting back to the topic, I mean, with the freight rates, yeah, they're going to go down. I mean, because a lot of places are afraid that they can't transport stuff. I mean, you still got your medical supplies; their loads are high.
Hmm.
You got some companies trying to take advantage of the needed stuff, and they're trying to get around without, get the drivers so they can, oh, like, the food it's needed ASAP. Well, a lot of brokers are saying, yeah, this load's an ASP load. You got to get it there so you can log it. You just drive through everything and take a nap and keep going. Don't worry about your log.
Hmm.
I mean, it's all going to come out in the wash. You know, once DOT gets back in force and decides to have another blitz, and that blitz ain't going to be just 3 days. I guarantee you, it's going to be like 2 weeks long, if not longer.
Yeah, I could see that for sure. For sure. That's usually when I try to take my vacation during the blitz. I think a
Vacation,
lot of
hold
us
it,
do.
hold it. Isn't it a vacation when you die and you don't come back?
I
You
know,
just
right?
take it.
We live
You just
this.
take a sabbatical. Yeah, you got to take a sabbatical.
That is so true. That is so true. Well, thank you for calling tonight and sharing your experiences with us as an owner operator. And hopefully
No
things
problem.
will get better soon, sooner than later.
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, like they say, Memorial Day weekend's coming up, and then you got the summer season, which we all know. Well, kids are out now, so there's no school.
Hmm.
But there are law enforcement in some of the back areas that the school lights are on. They're still hitting the drivers with tickets
Hmm.
because those lights are still active.
Exactly. Even without that's so weird. Even without s- kids present or school in session.
Those lights are so active. I mean, I came up. Oh, what was that? Through Texas, back roads, and they had the lights on. My habit from driving near schools, slow down. It's
Hmm.
lights on. You're doing what speed limit says,
Yeah.
and drive. And had a foreign driver, you want to call him, go flying past me. Next, the cop came out of the school zone, lights on, pulled him over, and I'm like, really? There's no kids present, but
Yeah,
he
that's
was
kind of
doing.
crazy. I guess the law's the law, but you would think they would have those lights shut off at this point when school's not even in session.
But there still are teachers going to the school. That's the problem.
Got you.
There's some teachers are still going to school, so you still have to watch it. And some guys think, oh no, they're not in school, so I'm going to do 40, 55, and when it drops to 35, oh no, I'll stay at 55. No.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, those lights don't mean nothing. Yeah,
Yeah, but the red and blues do, and that'll get you.
yeah, that's true.
Thank you
Well,
so much for calling, Paul.
all right, you have a good evening, and I'll catch you on the flip side somewhere out here.
Okay, that sounds great. Drive safe.
I
Hmm?
still want my hat.
Your hat. Did you not get a hat? Oh my god.
No.
We got to hook you up. We got to hook you up.
All right, you be good.
You too. Thanks.
All right,
Bye.
bye.
Okay, we're going to give Sadie a call real fast. I just got word she is free. So I'm actually going to call her. I do have her number. She has been my partner going multiple states to 15 different cities, giving out food to truck drivers. So let's try to give her a call if I can avoid this echo. Echo. I swear, we're going to have like the largest ASMR audience creep in because I keep whispering in the mic with this echo situation. Okay, let me double check the phone number here and then we will try to call Sadie. All right, we have a ring.
Hello.
Hey, you are live on
Hey.
the air. Can you hear me?
I can.
Yay, awesome, awesome. So everybody, this is Sadie. What is your last name? I keep forgetting, and I've spent a week with you.
Church.
Church. Okay, Sadie Church. And why don't you tell us on the Fueling Our Heroes project how this thing got started and kind of why we started doing this?
Sure. So when COVID first started, we put up a survey right away asking drivers what their pain points were. We just really wanted to know what they were experiencing out on the road. And within the first week, we were getting messages like somewhat frantic messages, saying things like, there's nowhere to eat, restaurants are shutting down. And in the beginning, it was a very knee-jerk reaction. States were just immediately shutting things down, and that included a lot of truck stop restaurants. So drivers were getting to their locations, couldn't get anything to eat. So we immediately started thinking, how can we help? What can we do? And that's kind of how this all started.
Mm-hmm. So when you called me to ask if I would help out with this project, you were just trying to do something to help?
Yeah, we knew that there were a lot of issues that drivers were encountering with COVID. We were hearing lots of different stories, different problems. But the one thing we knew we could help with right away was a free meal. Other things, we want to be able to help with, just a matter of ability right now. But the one thing we knew we could do was provide meals.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And then we had so many sponsors get involved with this. I was so amazed.
Yeah, immediately I reached out to Volvo Trucks North America and Cobra Electronics, and immediately both companies were on board. Both companies had really wanted to do something to help drivers as well. So when we came along with somewhat of a solution, they were super eager to partner and very, very supportive.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. And we heard so many stories. Like me and Sadie, guys, we have got along so well in the truck. You know how like team driver
awesome.
stuff works? like I love habanero hot sauce. She loves hot sauce. But as we went over the road together, giving out meals to drivers as a thank you and to show them that we are not forgetting them. Neither is Volvo, neither is Cobra, neither is RTI. We're here to support you. We're here to say thank you for everything that you do. And we have heard so many stories. Why don't you tell us some of the stories that you heard from drivers who are struggling?
Yeah, so a few things. When Brittney and I first started out, we stopped at a truck stop in Kansas City, and we didn't notice that there was no food. And then we got to our first destination that night. I can't remember where we were, Brittney, but there was no food there either. So we did experience the no food side of things as well. Fortunately, Brittney and I, we took food, so we did have food. But Brittney has a Volvo, so she has a bigger refrigerator and more storage space, so she has more room to store food. So that was fantastic. But we heard very, very humbling stories from drivers. Even, one of our first stops, it was somewhere in Indiana. I don't remember it all kind of runs together.
I think it was the Welcome Center, wasn't it? Just before Ohio?
I think so. Yeah. I think you're right. Yeah, there was an owner-operator who kind of like ran up to us, and he was in a hurry. He had his first load in a while, but he said, thank you so much. He said, freight rates have been terrible, which, again, these are issues that we knew were occurring, but there's no fast fix for low freight rates. I mean, if we could just wave a magic wand and increase freight rates and increase freight volume, oh my gosh, we would absolutely do that. But the owner operator said, I'm behind on my payments. I haven't been getting any loads. The loads that I've been getting the rates have been terrible, not even enough to stay afloat. He's like, I didn't even know what I was going to do for food. We ran into another driver not too long after that who said, he hauls car parts and all the car manufacturers shut down. And he said, I haven't worked in 4 weeks. He's been pretty much just laid off for 4 weeks. So we just started hearing story after story after story of drivers struggling. We talked to 2 owner operators who were putting their trucks up for sale because they just can't do it anymore. Met a really nice guy who he said this is his last load. He can't even afford to stay afloat anymore. Met up with a team outside of Louisville who they had been sitting for a couple of days, and they had just gotten word that they were going to sit through the rest of the weekend, and they wouldn't get a load until Monday night or Tuesday. So she had told me, the wife, team driver, had just told me, I just told my husband that we won't have food for the next 3 days. And she said, I just kind of, she looked down and she's like, well, I could, she made a joke about being able to miss a few meals, and she kind of tried to laugh it off. And I was like, well, I'm glad we're here because we're going to make sure that you don't go without for 3 days. So we made sure that they had enough food, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and some extras to get through the 3 days that they were going to be down. So lots and lots of humbling stories. People are really struggling out there, and it's a tough time. And if you're driving for a company who's fortunate enough to be hauling essential supplies, you may not be feeling the squeeze quite as much as other companies. But there are definitely a lot of drivers out there really, really, really struggling right now.
That's one thing that we noticed our last week, or our latter part of the week, I should say, coming back to Kansas City, was that even with some locations, and there were locations that we could not find any food. Like, it was potato chips, it was candy bars, that was it. Like, drivers had no food options whatsoever. And these are things that I wasn't seeing, at least on the news. I mean, I've seen CDL Life cover some of this stuff, but I don't hear this talked about very much. But even among the restaurants and things that are opening on a limited basis, we're running into this problem where the drivers can't afford the food at this point because the rates have been so low.
Right. And freight's been slow too.
Absolutely. And I think even the bigger companies I'm sure they're feeling this in a major way. They may be more prepared to weather the storm, at least for a while, but every company's feeling the heat from this COVID-19 freight problem. Absolutely.
And I fear, they say the second wave of recurrence will happen here in the next 6 to 8 weeks. Now that we're lifting restrictions, and my fear is that once that happens, we're immediately going to shut everything down again, and drivers are going to be facing the same difficulties again.
Definitely. That's definitely my concern as well. So where are we at as far as any plans for going back over? Are we going to, why don't you give us an update on this project, this Fueling Our Heroes, and what we're planning to do on the next round?
Okay. So we are planning to take trip 2 this week. We'll head out. We have a tentative route. Due to recent information as of tonight, that might have changed. So we'll be releasing that, the route details, within the next couple of days. But we'll definitely be covering about 2,000 miles again, and really just trying to give out as many meals. And then we actually got an exciting new partner tonight who we'll be able to reveal this week as well. So we'll be handing out food and beverages. So we'll be able to help drivers a little more.
That is awesome. So how can people donate to this if they wanted to get involved, or companies wanted to get involved with this?
So we're definitely still taking donors, and we're committed to as long as donations are coming in, we're going to continue to feed drivers. So you can donate on the GoFundMe page. It's GoFundMe CDL Life Fueling Our Heroes. Or you can reach out to us directly at CDL Life. That just let us know that you want to get involved, and we'll let you know how to do that. Or if you want to sponsor, we can work with you on that as well. And also, even if you can't donate, that's absolutely fine. But share the GoFundMe with other people, because maybe someone in your audience is looking for ways to give back to drivers, and maybe this is the perfect way for them to do that.
Absolutely. There's so many ways to support this. Share the post, share the GoFundMe link, get the word out. Let the drivers know that they're not going to be forgotten, and that we may not be able to fix everything, but we're here to do something. We're here to make a step in the right direction and show our appreciation to America's backbone, literally, because everything would stop if the driver stopped, if the freight stopped, everything would come to a halt. Like, I don't think America realizes how fast everything would come to a halt if it weren't for the truck driver.
Right. Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for calling in and joining.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
And it's been great riding with you.
You too. You're the best team driver ever.
Thank you so much. We were having so much fun.
Yes, absolutely.
Have a great night.
You too. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye. It's great to hear from Sadie Church with CDL Life. She has been amazing. Let me go ahead and put the phone number up for you guys on the screen. If you guys want to call in, we're going to go ahead and take general callers. The number, if you're listening audio, is 1-800-395-1576. That's 1-800-395-1576. If you guys want to call in and join the conversation. But I have to tell you guys, like, riding with Sadie, and one reason I did not, we could talk about so much. Trust me, we were talking for hours in the truck going across the country. I mean, talking about just people, relationships, where society is going. Like, we had so many great, deep conversations, and I would have loved to have her on the phone longer, but I know she is a worker. She is so busy. Like, you wouldn't believe. I'm watching her, of course, not while driving, but in my peripheral. She is making phone calls. She is checking all the posts. She is connecting with people. She is planning routes. She is figuring out how we can better life for truck drivers. I mean, this woman is amazing. She sleeps, but not very much. Not very much. We were both so tired by the end of the week. I mean, we had every waking hour like booked solid. And then we had a 10, took it right back at it. Like, we have worked this so hard. So I know I think I slept 14 hours yesterday when we got back. I had all these technical issues, which I do apologize for. Normally, we do Trucker Talk Live on Sunday nights at 7, and unfortunately, I had so many tech issues that we had to push it out to tonight. But I literally collapsed like last night. I was so tired. I took a bath, nice warm Epsom salt bath, and then I was out. And maybe a pizza. I was like, the least I could do is order pizza for me and Jordan. So that's what we did. Let me go back and check our phone lines. The number is 1-800-395-1576. 1-800-395-1576. If you want to join the conversation, let me make sure Do Not Disturb is off and the page is refreshed. That way you guys can get through. And looks like we do have a call. Let's take our next caller.
This is a call for Trucker Talk Live from
Barry.
To accept this call, press 1. To send the caller into...
Hey, you're on the air.
Hey, Brittany. It's Barry.
How's it going, Barry?
It's It's going pretty good. I've been over here on Facebook, even though I had to reset my computer about 6 times because it doesn't want to work with me tonight.
So even you have tech issues with when it comes to computers.
Well, my issue is I'm bouncing back and forth with several different places because the groups that I work with, we were actually right by you guys the other day when you were here in Pennsylvania. We
Oh,
actually
were
drove
you?
right past you. Yeah, we drove right past you. We saw the trucks and everything, and we were actually on our way on a big fire call, so we couldn't stop the pool, and we had to go down into New
Are you
Jersey.
serious? Okay, so
Yeah.
were you heading down like a side road in front of the truck stops? Like where were
Um,
you at?
we literally were, as we went by, I'm not sure if it was one of the side roads or not. You guys were just setting up as we went flying by.
Oh, wow. Yeah, because I recall several different times we had like ambulances and fire trucks, and there was different setups that we had fire trucks go by. So,
Yeah, down in Jersey New Jersey over the weekend, they had a 6 alarm, big, huge fire, and a whole roadblock of houses went up in flames.
oh my God, did
And
everybody come out all right?
yes, everybody did make it out. And with me being in the Salvation Army, we have the tractor trailers and everything that we use for our canteen trucks, and we have portable tractor trailers where we hit a button and set it up. It's a full locker room right on the spot, so we have the bathrooms and everything for people that need them.
Oh, wow.
And we were going by, and I looked off out of the corner of my eye. I said to my lieutenant that was riding with me, I said, "Hey, Lieutenant," I said, "Look," I said, "I know who that crew is over there." I said, "Marcus will still be here when we get back."
Hmm.
He says, "Why?" He goes to me, he goes, "Why?" I said, "Well," I said, "the pink truck there, I can definitely tell you who that is." I said, "I don't know about the rest of them." And so I've been bouncing all over. I've been down in Philadelphia all week and back up here where I live. And I mean, it's sad because I know how Paul, I believe, he was saying, like it's very hard because a lot of these locations, like even with the school zones, a lot of the times they cannot turn off the sensors on the lights in the school zones because they're on automated timing systems where if they were to go in to shut something down, it would screw up the system. So instead of wasting the headache, they'll just sit there and just let them run, even though there's no school in or not. And technically, with the cops sitting in that area, whether the school is in or not, okay, if they're there at a certain time without that light flashing or not, it's considered what they call baiting traffic.
Hmm.
And
Definitely.
I know we've had the issue here where I'm at, and in the court systems, the judges were just throwing it right out because they considered it baiting, and they said if there's no school there, it doesn't matter what the traffic's doing. Yes, they should obey the law, but we have already put out the information that there's no school, so why even follow the light? They're just doing what the normal traffic rate is.
Hmm.
Because even with those lights going, they can still get you in trouble. Because yes, they're slowing down for that traffic school light and whatever and following that law, but the other law states that you have to keep up with the regular traffic, and you're not doing that one. So they say there's too many conflicting laws right there in that situation with everything going on. They're just throwing it right out.
Right.
And then, and the hardest thing is like even when Sadie was talking, and I know here in Pennsylvania it was the hardest issue that we were dealing with. Because while we were shut down, I mean, they are being nice enough and slowly opening some of the stuff up there for the truck drivers. I was seeing rest areas were shut down on the interstates, the turnpikes and everything. In Pennsylvania, they shut down all of our rest areas. As soon as it hit, they're like, okay, we're going to full lockdown. All rest areas shut down. Truck drivers weren't even allowed to pull off to turn on sleep overnight, or if their clock ran out, they had basically nowhere to go.
Wow.
Like we had truck drivers lining the sides of the interstates. We had them basically parking wherever they can find a spot to park because if they pulled into a rest area, they got fined for just pulling into a rest area. Some of these poor truckers had no place to go to take a shower or anything. And
that is crazy.
Thank God, with me being in the Salvation Army, the one corps that I help out with for my EDS program, our parking lot is big enough that we can park the truckers there. So what we did is we took all of our church vehicles and stuff and we moved them and put a sign up in the parking lot that said trucker parking only.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
And we put out on our Facebook page because we had like 4 or 5 people in our church that are truck drivers also, so they knew everything that was going on. And I'm like, we have our own tractor trailers and everything for the Salvation Army, so I'm like, well, let's do it this way then. Let's make it just truckers only. And someone said, well, how do we stop other people from parking here? I said, it's kind of easy. I said, what we do is we park the trucks from the church where we want our own trucks, close by where we can get in and out. And if people start seeing trucks parking here, then they're going to find somewhere else to park. So when I parked all this tractor trailers for the church there, I was able to notify the other truck drivers that they can quickly pull right in there. There's a spot to rest. So instead of keeping our trucks in the garage, I was just put them right in the parking lot. But everybody knew, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're only running a trucker parking only. Because unfortunately, some people don't know how to read.
Right.
And I mean, the hardest part is like, and when I first started, you first went live, I know you were hitting on it, because I got asked all the time, because I drive the trucks even when I do it for the Salvation Army, and we always run into conflict with our drivers all the time. They're always asking me, oh, do we really have to have our shoes on in the truck when we're driving long hours? I tell them, I said, look, I said, honestly, I don't know. I said, I've heard conflicting stories on this all the time. Do we or don't we? I said, I'll tell you personally myself, I prefer not to. I said, I don't know if there's regulations or not. I said, I know someone that's a truck driver. I can find out from them. And right when you started saying something, my computer decided it wasn't going to work. I'm like, oops, don't my internet. I have no clue what you're saying on that.
I'll tell you what I said. So I've had a lot of people with foot fetishes ask me to drive barefoot and film it. So I kind of went off on a tangent with that. But other than that, I truly don't know. I truly don't know where DOT stands.
If they want that content, go on ahead and go onto my personal page and message me. I'll send you to somebody that you can turn around and go look up her channel and everything. She'll show you everything you want to know.
There you go. Contact Barry.
Yes, I understand. There's truck drivers out there that are driving like that, yes. And they're making mad money off it because they have the channels and the For You pages and all this stuff doing that stuff. But I did finally get a hold of a DOT officer, and he said it is actually right in the driver's manual, whether it's for CDL vehicles or not. You must be wearing shoes or flip-flops or something on your feet while driving. You cannot be barefoot or just in socks, because if you were to get in a motor vehicle accident or any type of accident, your insurance will not cover it if they find out you're barefoot.
Wow.
Yep. And the thing is so many people don't realize it's written right in the driver's manual. And I had no clue. I read that book so many times, and I never seen it. He literally pulled the book out and has it highlighted right in the book for me. I'm like, well, there would have been my answer about 600 times ago when I gave that question. So it kind of helps out there. I'm like, okay, now we know.
No kidding. No kidding. Well, there's the answer. There's the answer. It is right in the driver manual. You must have something on your feet. You can't drive barefoot.
Yeah. Now, they do say, and they did tell me, sometimes a lot of law enforcement officers will say, because for truck drivers, and I have one of my friends who is a former truck driver, but he's now a cop, said, as for truck drivers, they usually don't touch it with them because they said that is their home. They said, that's your home. They said, you want to try to make the trucker as comfortable as possible. So they said, and I'll tell you, I've been on calls for EMS calls and everything where we get accidents out on the interstate, and we would walk up to the truck driver. I'm like, could you please at least warn me that they weren't dressed? We've had calls where we walk up to the trucks and we've had drivers not wearing anything. I'm thinking to myself, well, they did say it's a home away from home, be as comfortable as possible, but sheesh, Mickey. I'm like, and I thought I was the bad one.
I can imagine that YouTube channel, Naked Trucking. God, I'm gonna get banned for saying naked trucking.
I don't think YouTube will let us get away with that one, but
God.
We never know anymore. There's
I
so
bet
much
they'd,
stuff that you can find on the internet.
they'd have a hell of a lot of subscribers depending on who it was.
That's true. I mean, like, there's so many different channels out there, and it's like you sit back and you look at them. Oh, this can't be good. There goes my pager.
Ooh, you got a call? Let's hear what it is.
No, thank God it's not me.
Oh.
They turn around and set our pagers off, then tell us to cancel and it's free EMS.
Oh, wow.
So, like, the buttons that, cause, like, so many of your fire departments, they use, like, the voice pagers.
Mm-hmm.
Our pagers that we have in the county that I live in are the same pagers that your hospital doctors use.
Okay.
So we're using what's called an alpha pager, so we have to pull it off our hips to read what it says before we can do anything.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, just please give me a voice pager, please.
I know.
So I bought the scanner so I could hear it.
I know.
And
I
it's so
used to
much
have a
more
voice
difficult
pager. It was
because
really
they're-
nice.
Yeah, they're changing all the frequency ranges, so now it's like your voice pagers are obsolete. Scanners don't exist anymore.
Mm-hmm. So are
So it's
you
like, okay.
there at the fire station then?
No, I actually have a scanner because what they did is they were nice enough to leave the dispatches on analog, but our mobile ops and response channels are digital.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, I buy $100 scanner, throw it on my hip just to basically hear dispatch.
Makes sense.
Because the pagers that we have are anywhere from $600 and go up.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, so you're paying $600 for just one pager plus $150 on top of that to get it programmed. So it's like, okay, I can just go online, get the code, punch it in the scanner. There, I got my pager. It's so much cheaper. For $100, it's like, and I'm getting the codes free, so I might as well do it that way.
There you go.
I don't go into the fire hall until that I'm with. I don't go there till about midnight, and then I'm stuck there like between 8 and 12 in the next day before I get to go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the sad thing is a lot of fire departments, it's off topic a little bit for trucking, but a lot of fire departments are volunteer, or a big percentage are. You know, they don't have a huge
Yeah, right.
budget. This stuff gets expensive. A fire truck is
Yeah.
not cheap.
One fire hall just bought a brand new 2020 Pierce, and that thing was $150,000 for that
Oh
truck.
my God. Wow.
Before putting the equipment that they need on the truck. That's before the lighting equipment that they want and all their special equipment that they need.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, and what happened is that they lost all the other equipment because they were on the interstate. We decided this past weekend to get hit with a snowstorm that blinded everybody right in the middle of spring. And the one truck hit ice and they wrecked the truck, losing everything.
Oh my
And
God.
unfortunately, we lost 2 firefighters in that accident.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh my God. Did you say that was this last weekend?
That was this past Friday night here in Pennsylvania.
Oh my God.
I
Yeah,
don't remember where.
we just missed that, guys. Like, we were there when the rain started coming in. There was rolls of thunder.
Mhm.
Temps started dropping. We left the next morning, but we went down to Louisville the next day, and it even got down in the 30s, I think, in Louisville. Like, it was so cold. And we heard there was snow up north, but I didn't know that area got it.
Like, it was like where I live, we got like the sleet and the rain from it, but other parts of the county got like a couple, like a dusting to almost an inch and a half. And the next county, which is only 45 minutes up the road from me, I got called out to go up there with the snowplow. I'm thinking, I look out my window, I'm like, you guys cannot be calling me out with a snowplow right now. I said, it's just raining here. They said, no, the county away from next to you, it's snowing really bad. I'm like, oh boy.
Oh, wow. So you
I
drive a
got
snowplow as
notification
well?
for my brother-in-law is a owner-operator. He's a private contractor for PennDOT.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, because of PennDOT having basically shut down all their stuff, So a lot of their drivers aren't even available. They're not even answering the phone calls. So
Oh my
we
God.
got stuck with all the calls.
Oh wow.
Like up here in Pennsylvania, they didn't care if you were a state employee or not. They could just stay home.
Wow.
And the hardest thing is right now we are facing it, and where I live at, we have like 16 different trucking companies around us, from like Warner to Wegmans for the grocery stores and everything, and they're all around us. And like the Walmart distribution center, which is where they send their trucks out from the stores, is only like 10 minutes up the road from me. And the hardest part that they're dealing with is these poor, like I said, the truck drivers, they're going to the stores and they're being told, oh, you can't park your truck here. And they're like, well, I just need to go get something to eat quick before I head back on the road. I need something to drink. Like, oh, I don't care, you ain't parking here. And it's like our police department has, in front of the one gas station by my house, they decided to try and take the whole side of the road, and they put all the way down the road. They had it painted by our borough crew, which they got permission from the state. The state ran a highway, and our borough department is actually owned by PennDOT, even though they're not PennDOT employees.
Okay.
So it's literally the whole side of the road in front of this gas station says truck driver parking only for pickup or delivery, or to get something quick to go. Nobody else is allowed to park there. And the way they did it is they put one cop car at the very end, another cop car all the way up in the front, and truck drivers park all in front of them. And they were blocking off like 3 or 4 businesses, which are auto body garages for working on people's cars and stuff. And they're like, and the people that own those garages are like, hey, we're not there. We're basically on vacation. Our business is shut down because we can't do anything. So go ahead. If you even need to tell the truck drivers to go ahead and pull into our parking lot there, because this guy's parking lot is like literally the size of a Walmart parking lot for his garage, even though his garage is so small. He's like, okay, you can just pull everything in here. So that was nice enough that he could turn around and basically told everybody, look, I'm not open. There's nothing in my parking lot. If you guys need to use the parking lot, go ahead and notify all truck drivers. Whatever happens is on camera, so if they need help.
That is amazing.
Here where I'm at, I'm seeing a lot of people are being nice to help the truckers. But in other areas, like I know somebody shared it to one of your Facebook pages where they went to the one Love's Travel Stop, and they were told, oh, we're closed. And the guy that turned around some of the video, the truck driver, he's like, okay, I can't even come in to get something to drink or eat. And they're like, no. And he goes, as he's walking back to his truck, he's like, okay, you'll take our fuel, our money for our fuel, but you won't let us come inside to get something to eat or drink. And the doors were wide open to the trucker stop. And I'm thinking, of all things, it was a Love's Travel Stop.
That's crazy.
It happened to be in Mexico, of all places. And I'm like,
that was that clip. Yeah, I saw that clip being shared around. That was insane. And it was what, a city ordinance or whatever?
Yeah, according to the guy that was there cleaning the windows on their employees, he said it was a city ordinance. So with me being affiliated, and I actually use Love's Travel Stops for doing all of our stuff for the trucks for the church and my personal equipment, I reached out to them and I asked about that once, and they went to their district managers at their head corporate office to get the information. And it's sad to find out that it wasn't even a town ordinance. What happens is the store shuts down at a certain time, and it's just outside that ramp because they don't have showers or anything else inside. It's just quickly go inside, get what you need, and that's it.
Wow.
So it's just like a normal gas station, like for you or me taking our regular car there, but there's nothing else. There's no showers, no laundry, no nothing. So it'd be like you or me just running into like a Turkey Hill gas station or something, depending on where people are, and you can grab like your soda, something quick to eat, and you're gone. They don't have anything else.
Right.
And what happened is it's a private owned one, even though it's running underneath the flag and everything for Love's Travel Stop.
Wow.
So it'd be like you or me going out and buying like some regular gas station and just slapping the name Flying J on the side of it, I own the property and everything. Wherever I say goes. But yet, I'm just getting all this stuff from this company, even though it's basically they have no right to it.
Wow.
And it's sad because when I contacted Loves, they called me back and they said, "What are you talking about?" And I told them everything. I even sent them an email of the clip and everything. And they're like, "We had no clue this was even going on." They said, "Our truck drivers always come first. We said we are there 24/7. We should be there 24/7 for these guys."
Definitely. Definitely.
And the manager of that place was very upset when he found out that's what was going on.
Wow. Yeah, that is crazy. I will say that I stop at Love's too. Like that is, to be honest, that's my favorite Love's call. Sponsor with me because I love you guys. That we've run across locations that did not have food. And we have also run across Loves that did have hot food available, but it was behind, like they had to get it for you. There was a long line. They had plexiglass up. But it was nice to see that they were trying to do something to help. And fortunately, everyone that we came across seemed to be open 24 hours, which was a plus.
Yes. I see some of our moderators are having a little issues with our Facebook stuff. Like my watch is going off. I'm like, how are we commenting on our stuff? And I'm like, on the Facebook page for it's like you're commenting on your own post. I'm like, oh, I don't think everybody knows how to turn around and change it over to themselves.
Oh.
Yeah, because if we are like in charge of a page or as a moderator or anything, when we comment, you're automatically going to be commenting as that page. So there should be a drop down arrow right by the commenting where you can change it over to your own self to comment. So sometimes people they're going to be looking at it like, oh, they think it's whoever's in charge of the page as the admin, but it's actually somebody else.
Right.
I'm sitting here, my watch is blowing up on my wrist and my cell phone's going off at the same time. I'm like, I'm on the phone. I shouldn't be getting my notifications.
Yeah, and I've been trying to.
Quick, I look at everything. I'm like, oop.
I've been trying to learn this comment feed too. Restream.io. I'll go ahead and give them a plug because they've been very good to us. That's who we're using to rebroadcast on multiple platforms at the same time. They have a chat feature that is integrated into one page, so I can see the chats coming in from multiple Facebook pages, YouTube channels, etc. So I'm not sure how it looks when I comment back, if like mysterious replies are going to the wrong pages. I don't know.
I have no clue because I did see this one and I found it out today because when you went live and everything, I got the notifications that you're live on YouTube before you were even live on Facebook.
Oh wow!
So like from our YouTube channel to the Facebook page, there's like almost like very close to a minute gap right there from what's happening on YouTube to Facebook. So it's like we definitely know for a fact YouTube is a lot faster than Facebook.
Way to go, YouTube.
So it's like right now, like what everybody's hearing from us talking and everything on Facebook is going to be anywhere from 30 seconds to at least a minute behind the YouTube channel. Got you.
That makes sense. And we've heard
did realize too that each Facebook page is also a different time on how the videos play out too. So it's like depending on what channel everybody's getting onto, they're hearing us in all different time segments of what's going on. So it's like if you are somebody that's using multiple screens and have multiple computers and set up on, like me, at first I was on one Facebook page on one TV, YouTube on another TV, and my computer and my cell phone. I was like 4 different time segments. I'm like, this is not going to ever happen again.
Yeah, I've got like 2 cell phones here next to each other that I'm trying to watch feeds on as well. I wanted to make sure that we went live this time because last time on YouTube, for those that go back and watch the last Trucker Talk Live, what was interesting was YouTube got cut off. It didn't catch the intro, like most of the intro. It cut in. it cut in at the point that I said, "Oh my God, somebody get Jake some pants. Jake needs pants."
Yeah.
That's like the starting intro. And everybody's
Like,
like, "What the hell was
um,
that? Who's
yeah,
Jake
like
and why
last
doesn't he
week,
have pants?"
last week's YouTube channel, it wasn't working, and when we finally got it kicked in, when I was sitting there on YouTube, I picked up right when you said, "Okay, finally we're live. It's live. All platforms are working now."
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, that was a little too far behind.
It was just a little bit. And now I think we're
Because
broadcasting
unfortunately,
live on 2 spots on YouTube right now. I think.
yes, we
I-
are on American Truckers YouTube page and also Brittney Richardson on YouTube.
Okay, that's actually good. I was afraid we had 2 like live streams going on American Truckers YouTube. So,
Yeah. So it's like we have both your regular channel plus your the American Trucker page on YouTube that's showing this stream right now. And we
Mhm.
have all the Facebook pages plus your personal Facebook pages also
Great.
showing this. So this is like I was sitting there and then it's like I follow your regular page because I don't have your other friend on there that I'm aware of, and that's how I got the first notification that anything was even going on. That would hit live first, and then it just starts traveling down through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, that helps out. And I do know like that there's a lot of different stuff out there, and I'm just gonna put this one out there. Anybody that is doing this streaming on multiple platforms, I just want to give everybody a warning now, and I found this one out the hard way. If you are doing anything and you're using Twitch, be very careful and go back and reread the users agreement. Because with the website Twitch, which is doing the same thing that this site does, if you get caught sharing anything, they'll automatically ban you from their site. Because
Really? Like using a software like this? You mean like a restream situation?
Yes, they tell you that you can stream it to any platform that you want, but you can't. You really can't because they put their logo right in the middle of your video, and you don't even know it's there.
Oh wow!
And well, so like if I'm streaming, I can only be streaming on their website at that time. I cannot post it to like Facebook, Meet Me, or anything like that, or YouTube until after I completely end my video, and then I can post it anywhere I want.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's like the sad thing. So it's like how we're live right now on all these different platforms where everybody's talking to us, calling in, whatever. With Twitch, they can't do that. They have to basically be a user of that site by itself before they can turn on to anything else.
Oh wow.
And I found out because I was using the site, and a friend of mine saw my stuff, and she called me up and said, "Hey, you gotta go back and reread the usage agreement. It states right on there that you can't be streaming live on every platform. You can only be on their site first, and then you have to basically share it to these other ones for them to rewatch it."
That is crazy.
I'm like, that's not true. So I start reading the agreement, and yeah, unfortunately, it's right there in like the very small print.
You have to read the agreements, guys. You have to read the agreements.
Yeah. So many people are like, yeah, like they'll read like what they could see, and they don't want to like click on the sections that they can't see to blow it up where you can turn on and read it. That's where they like to hide the loopholes, as we like to call them.
Yeah, they sure do.
I think, and earlier, I think it was Paul that said something. Like you, actually, I think no, it was actually you. He said about how you didn't see in the news and the media sources on all the stuff that the truck drivers are going through. I think it was either you or Paul or somebody said that. And with myself, I am a freelance press writer. I turn around and go out and take pictures of stuff for making sure they get in your newspapers and everything. I would tell you this much right now, and it's very, very sad. I don't understand why these companies do it. The media sources, like your news media, your radio shows and those law stuff, they only talk about what they want to hear. What will make them the money, what will get them the better reviews. That's all they want.
Well, and I think the other part of that too, I don't know if you've noticed this, but news generally does not want to run a positive story. Like, there's no.
And that's what we're going through right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yep.
we just had an issue where Obama, our last president, just did something, and they basically threw it underneath the carpet and went and backlashed at President Trump.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, but like if it was anybody else that did the same exact thing, they would have got yelled at.
Oh yeah.
It would have been all over the news.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what's really happening that we're only picking up certain things?
Right.
And that's the reason why I got into doing the press, because I worked for a newspaper company when I was younger, and we went out on a fire call, and the story was written one way, handed to the editor, but did not end up that way in the paper at all.
That's ridiculous.
Like, the editor basically took the reporter's story, threw it away, and wrote his own story from what he heard come across his hand.
God, that's crazy.
And I hate to say it, but that's how a lot of your media sources are. Whatever they can hear on the scanner or what they see from somewhere else, they'll take that information and put it out there to the public. And whatever a reporter gets, they don't care.
See,
They
I
don't care what
wonder
they're
if
getting.
there's.
They don't care. They'll twist everything around to make it look better and sound better. Because it's like, for us, like, we take a picture. Okay, the thing in the picture is, what's the eye candy that's going to catch whoever our viewer is?
Oh, absolutely.
So then with the media, they're not thinking somebody's going to be looking at it. They think they're going to be listening. So it's like, okay, what can we put out there that's going to catch their ear?
That's a good point. Very good point.
And
But the thing
and
is,
that's
it can be
usually why
done.
a lot of good.
It can be done ethically. Like, where is the professional journalism that we used to have? Like, we used to have. I'm not gonna say media was always fair and balanced, but it was much more fair and balanced. You would have independent. You would have journalists who would cover all sides. They'd listen to 2 or 3 different opinions or stories, put them together, and run a story. And now it's like, we'll just hear one and run with it, or change it around and paraphrase the whole thing to make it look like it's saying something that it's not, just to get the story out, to get the views. Fake
And
news. That's a good word for it. I'm not harping on Trump's thing, but fake news. Fake news. Like, seriously, that is fake news.
Yep. Like, that's where I'm living at. We have a newspaper that they print what they want, but one of their own employees went strictly to Facebook, and she went and got her freelance press license, because as a freelance press writer, we can put whatever we want. We don't have somebody saying, hey, you can't put your story this way, you can't do it that way. So, like, one day she posted something, it's like the newspaper company that she works for, and everybody knows who she works for, the story was listed one way, but you went on her Facebook page and it was completely different. I'm thinking to myself, how is this even possible? And then I started investigating and figure it out. I'm like, that's what we need. We need more people like that.
We definitely.
Okay, yeah, it may have been listed this way to the news, to the public, where everybody sees it, but if you got all my Facebook page, you're now seeing what the real story really is, what happened word for word. So it's basically like most people say, it's like the telephone game. It starts out as one thing, but by the time it hits the end, it's completely different.
Right. What disappoints me with this whole thing is being over the road, not naming any media sources directly, but this is a huge story. With truck drivers are not getting the coverage that they deserve in the media. They're storming on Washington and raining down on Washington, I think is what it was called. And they show a clip, maybe 30 seconds, of the trucks honking their horn. Yes, the truckers are pissed because of freight rates. They honk their horn. They go to the next story. I mean, even with us, in a lot of cases here, we're out there trying to do something and rally the people and stand up for the American truck driver to say, we're not going to forget you. We're raising our voice. And where's the news? And you know how I feel about it? If the news isn't going to cover this, I am. Like, I'm going to blast it all over social media. I'm going to let this country know what the hell the truck driver's going through.
Yeah, and it's like, even with me, like, I see it all the time. Okay, I used to drive. I'm not on the road anymore. I was actually doing farming, truck side of it. And that's where we run into a lot more issue. And it's like, where I'm at, we got the railroad company that's always going right by my place, and all the railroad industries right where I'm living at, they're putting out there, hiring now. Okay, I'm seeing the railroad's hiring, but I'm seeing all these companies that have all these truck drivers putting in, oh, we just need a part-time drivers. We just need part-time drivers home every single day. I'm like, why are we having our truckers home every day where right now the most valid people that's needed is the OTR drivers? They're the most valid ones that we need right now, not the home daily people. We need the over the road. We need the people that are willing to turn around, take the truck and go. Like, I'm watching the freight trains go by my place all the time, and all I see is, like, today we had a train go by. It was 100 cars. I did not see one tanker car or anything on the train. It was all flatbed cars stacked three to four high of nothing but semi-trailers. I'm like, okay, this is what we're getting into. This is what we're talking about, where the truck drivers are saying they're furious because they're losing the money that they could be making their living off of, because now we're transporting everything by the rail. And it's like, didn't we just say not too long ago, let's slow down the rail because of the emissions prices that we're paying and everything, and give the stuff to the truckers because that's their living? And it's like, now it's like, unfortunately, I see it all over Facebook, they said we're going backwards. Like, I've seen so many people, like so many posts on Facebook now saying, we had the baby boomer session, and then they're saying, like, after this, we're going to have another baby boomer session. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but it's probably going to be true. And then it's like, you look at all the hairstyles coming back around and everything, and everybody's like, well, welcome back to the 70s and the 80s. I'm like, oh, this ain't possible. Now it's like, oh, yeah, it is possible. We're basically going backwards.
It is. Groovy is
like,
coming back. It's crazy.
I went to Walmart the other day. First time I've seen any, like, I saw 5 VHS tapes sitting there. I'm thinking, how far back are we really wanting to go now? Then you turn around and see your cassette tapes sitting there for, like, putting in your car stereo. I'm like, they don't even make radios like that anymore, so good luck. And then it's like, you walk down this one aisle of all the radios at Walmart, and it's like, you're getting your record players are sitting there. You got your vinyl records not too far down from it. I'm like, okay, I didn't know I was back in school.
No kidding. You know what was funny is I went into this rest stop one time in Kansas. I think it was Western Kansas. And there was a sign, because it's not one of these fancy toilets. It's not a bidet. It's not even an automatic flusher. It was a very simple contraption. And it was a toilet that had a handle. And after you were done doing your business, you pull the handle and it flushes. Like, very simple, right? They had a sign.
Like what we have at home.
Exactly. This is where I'm going. So they had a sign behind the toilet that said, for all the youngsters out there who have not seen something like this, you pull the handle and it flushes.
I'll never forget more.
Sign.
I went to a gas station once. Actually, it was on the turnpike, so it would technically be considered a travel stop where it's at. Like, they have, like, grocery stores right in the center, and restaurants, all types of gas stations, everything. Like, even the buses are pulling in there for getting the people, passengers off the bus to try and move around a little bit, refuel, get something to eat quick, and hit the road again. You walk in, all the toilets in the bathroom said, press handle when done. Now you walk over to the sink, and the sink is automatic. The hand dryers are automatic. The paper towel machines were automatic. But the toilets were, you had to push the handle.
They haven't got to the toilets yet.
And I'm like, and I was real young at the time. I said, if we have everything else in the bathroom but the toilet, why don't we put the toilets that way? And the manager of the store, I didn't know, was standing behind me and goes, because people are too lazy, so we have to make them work.
Oh my God. Good answer.
Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but yeah, he was right. Anymore, it's like, yes, we've gotten so lazy today, and it's like, we're now seeing it. And, I don't know if you actually touched on this one. The other question I said, I asked when you asked about what we could talk about was regulations with logbooks and stuff. I know people were asking, like, I know a lot of times now they're trying to force everybody to start going with electronic logs, but there are some people out there that are still on paper logs.
Mm-hmm.
I know, like some companies, they were saying if a truck is before a certain year, they can still run paper logs and don't need the electronic log. I don't know if they're still doing that way now. And biggest controversial issue in CDL life: automatic versus standard.
Absolutely. That is always a hot issue.
That's one thing I hate. You walk into a bar and next thing you know, you got a bunch of truck drivers sitting there and they're like, "Oh, I drive an automatic. I'm the best. I drive a standard. I'm the best." And it's like, really? I drive an I-shift. I'm the best. And it's like, oops, yeah, you just started World War III.
I know, no kidding, right?
Well, we've PA system powered up and everything, and we got lightning happening right now.
Oh wow. Let me.
I thought it was my wife, and it's not.
That's funny. Well, thank you so much for calling in. I noticed we've got some more callers on the line calling in now.
Anytime, and when you get a chance, actually get a hold of me personally, and I think we might be able to work something out where you can do a satellite link system where you can actually have somebody helping you run everything from a different location, like your sound quality and everything, without even being in the same area as you.
That would be awesome. I'll get in touch with you.
I gotta look back in to figure out how to do that, because I know people that I used to work with in the past. One person would be in California, another one in Florida, and he'd be basically doing the sound and everything for the guy's channel.
Okay. That would be incredible. So it's nice talking to you. I definitely
you too, Brittney, and God bless you, and you be safe out there. Keep doing what you do.
Same to you. God bless. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we've got another caller calling in, and I think I may know who this is, but if you're holding on the line, just wait another second and I will get this answered. You know what's funny? Okay, so I'll show you guys. I have two phones that get relayed. If Google Voice doesn't answer the first one, it gets transferred to the cell phone. Unfortunately, if I answer on the cell phone, you guys won't be able to hear the audio. And if I put it on speaker, we'll get a weird feedback and Jake gets involved and it just gets complicated. We're going to have have counseling if that happens. So let me try to call back our caller. I believe they're out of Texas. Here we go.
This is a call for Trucker Talk Live from
Jessica.
Let's take Jessica. Jessica, you are
Hey,
on
girl.
Trucker Talk Live. How's it going?
Finally back on the road. So it's been a day.
Did you get your tire fixed?
Yeah, some yak ass didn't post trip the trailer and left me with a blown out tire. So, you know, the joys of trucking.
Always an adventure every day.
You know, after 30 years, I'm tired of the adventures. I want it to be normal.
What's that? Yeah.
You know, I mean, I just want a simple day.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Do you
no,
think...
I was just saying,
I
you
was
need
gonna
to
say,
do your...
I was going to say,
go ahead.
do you think you would be happy with a simple day after? I know I would initially, but after some time, I don't know if I could take simple. Like, it would probably drive me crazy. I would sit at home and go, this is too complacent. I need something crazy.
Well, I will admit, I hate going home because I do go stir crazy at home. But I would just like one day without something going on, you know? Just easy road traffic, just simple.
No kidding.
That's all I would ask for. That would be the perfect day.
I agree completely. You need a break. You can't have it crazy all the time. And unfortunately, many times for the American truck driver, it is.
Yep. What I was messaging you, you ought to head over to D.C. if you're able to do your podcast on remotely and do your podcast from DC, because I guarantee you'll get a lot of truckers wanting to talk to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I think we have close to 200, if not more than 200 trucks at DC right now.
Oh, wow.
And so they finally let us move back onto Constitution Avenue.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, if anybody hasn't read the article yet, look up an article called 11 Days in D.C. This was a young reporter. He's a freelance reporter. And he just happened to be in D.C. He showed up, started talking to some of the drivers, and all he had was just a pen and pad. And he goes, "Do you mind if I interview y'all, about what's going on?" And he did a wonderful article about what's going on with the brokers and all that right now. And it is really getting a lot of views and a lot of shares.
Okay, 11 days in DC. I'm seeing if I can look that up as well. So the drivers are still up there. Because, see, the last I saw was the rain on Washington, where all the trucks lined up in front of the White House. And I wasn't sure where things were going from there, because I knew President Trump was supposedly meeting with drivers and organizations to talk about this. But I was wondering if it was going anywhere or if we were making progress.
Yeah, now the DOJ is looking into it. We did manage to get TQL's training manual today,
Mm-hmm.
and that shed out a lot of light on some stuff. There's a lot of stuff coming out. Even brokers that are working for these mega broker companies are releasing documents to us because they know it's not fair. They know we're getting, basically screwed over by the brokers. And there's a lot of stuff going on. Now, even the DOT and FMCSA, we're even going after them saying, here we've been here 11, 12, 13 days, and y'all still haven't even made a comment about this, what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
But yet, y'all are supposed to represent the truckers. Where are y'all at? Why are y'all being silent?
Mm-hmm.
And we're putting it towards Trump to where he's having to acknowledge it. Fox News has done cornered him on it.
Mm-hmm.
They addressed the issue Sunday, I think it was. And so it's starting to pick up media. And that's the biggest thing is media. If you get a chance to talk to somebody in the media, talk to them about it. Talk to them about what's going on with the trucking industry. Talk to them about the fact that we're losing 2.4 drivers a day to accidents in the last 2 years. It has increased that high. Talk to them about the rates. Talk to them about the fact that we're not getting the proper training we need out here for these new drivers, and that's what's causing so many accidents and fatalities out here on the highway.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. And don't forget the power of social media, guys, because we have, just in this broadcast alone, we're going out to like 48,000 people or more. And I'm guessing low. Like by the end of the week, this is going everywhere, this live program. So don't underestimate that
Facebook,
power. Like share the post. You see a post of what's going on, these video clips truck drivers are sharing, share it. React to it, get the word out.
And if you're on Facebook, get on America Without Drivers and Boots on the Ground. America Without Drivers is a coalition of all the different trucking groups. We have the Russian, we have the Czechs, we have the Latinos, we have Black Smoke Matters, we have the Punjabis, we have the Sheiks. It's a all I want to say is I want to thank the brokers. I want to thank every one of them, because they have managed to do something that we have not been able to do in the last 10, 20 years. They have brought the trucking industry, all aspects of the trucking industry, all drivers from different walks of life together for the first time to stand up and saying, we've had enough. We've had enough, but we can't do it anymore.
That's awesome.
Thanks to the brokers for doing that.
So you guys have people on the inside, as far as brokers go, that are passing along some of the evidence of what's going on? Did I hear that right?
Yes.
That is
Yes, some of
tremendous.
them, matter of fact, one of them is the wife of a trucker, and she quit working for the brokering company and brought documents with her. We have several brokers that are, people that work within the brokering company that are coming out and giving us documents. That's how we ever get the TQL training manual. We're getting a lot of stuff, and we're presenting it to the Department of Justice. Right now, if you request to see what that load fully pays from a broker, and that means what the broker got paid and you and everything else, the whole agreement between the broker and the shipper and receiver, if you request it according to government law, you're allowed to do it, they're blacklisting that company. They will blacklist your company and not allow you to bid on any more freight.
That is
and
insane.
so these brokers are trying to fight back. They're trying to fight back, but it's not working.
Why isn't it working?
Because we are finally joining together as one. We now have the farmers on board with us. I don't know if a lot of y'all know, the farmers have a multi-billion-dollar lawsuit against C.R.H. Robertson right now,
Oh, wow.
which is one of the major brokering companies. And now they have joined in with us. We have the truck stops organizations joining in with us. We have a lot of different organizations that are backing the truck drivers now. And because the American people are finally realizing that we can't haul freight at a loss. The only ones that are making money are the ones that have a contract. Well, we have found out recently a lot of drivers, a lot of owner-operators, they know they're getting ready to lose everything they have. So what they're doing is they're not paying their bills for like their e-logs, their insurance, things like that, and they're running as much freight as they can, as cheap as they can, because they already know they're going to lose their truck, and they run it until the DOT pulls their numbers or the bank comes and gets their trucks.
That is so
I
sad.
talked to a banker the other day, and he said an average of 30,000 trucks a week are getting repossessed.
Oh, my God. That is... Where is this on the news? You don't hear any of this.
Well, and that's what I say. We need our truckers to get to social media. We need them to call news stations. We need them to call newspapers. Write letters to editors. If you're on Twitter, blast Trump, blast POTUS. Go after the FMCSA, tag the DOT. Call your congressmen, call your senators. They've got to know what's going on. If not, this industry is going to collapse. They're already pushing these AI trucks. Their whole goal is, the ATA, is to get every truck driver out of a truck and have us replaced by a computer.
You think that's the goal of the American Truck Association, you said?
Yeah, because think about it. They represent the mega companies. They only represent 10% of the trucking industry. 90% of the trucking industry is made up of small owner-operators like myself and small companies, things like that. The ATA represents Warner, J.B. Hunt, Walmart, things like that. Okay? Walmart's already talking about how soon they can get an AI truck out on the road. So they don't have to pay drivers. We have Warner doing the same thing. They're the reason why they pushed the e-logs, things like that, and that's because they knew it would hurt the small business owner. They push for regulations and laws to be passed, and then they turn around and ask for exemptions from the same laws they pass, even though it's hurting people like me, other small companies, things like that. It hurts us, but yet they're getting exemptions from it, so it doesn't affect them. I mean, think about it. How safe is it for C.R. England for a trainer to have two trainees in the truck with him at the same time?
We were just talking about that the other day. It's insane.
How well can he pay attention?
Total? Yeah, a trainer and two drivers, or two students.
Exactly. You can't stay alert the whole time. Whenever I used to train friends of mine, things like that. The whole time they were driving, I was awake in that passenger's seat, watching everything they were doing, make sure they were safe and they were knowledgeable and they were learning how to operate the vehicle properly. There's no which way a driver trainer can do that with two trainees.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
And now we have companies like a friend of mine. She went for work for Western Express. 6 months after she started driving for them and completed her training, on-the-job training, they were wanting her to be a trainer. 6 months after she'd only been on the road.
That is insane. There should be a minimum that is reasonable. I mean, you can tell what the motive is there, because if you're asking a student, because that's what they basically are at 6 months, is still a student.
Yeah.
I'm 8.5 years in as a truck driver, and I'm learning things every day. And you're going to put somebody who is practically fresh out of school, months of driving experience, and have them training everybody else. I mean, you can tell there's a money motive. Like, that's what it's about at that point.
I started driving trucks when I was 16 years old, hauling hay to the feed store, hauling cattle to the sale barn, going and picking up cattle, hauling farm equipment, things like that for my dad on our ranch. 16 years old, I was in a truck driving. And I'm not going to say my age, I'm 48 now.
Mm-hmm.
And every day, I still learn something. Every day, I still learn something new. The moment you think that you know it all about trucking and that there's nothing else to learn, park your truck, because you're going to get somebody killed.
I agree. Completely. So how long do you think it's going to take for full AI to be taking over the industry? Because I would think there would be a lot of regulation to get through. But then again, some of this stuff seems to have been setting up for years. I know that was a question from Zombie XJXR asked that question about the AI.
Well, they are pushing for it fast. This pandemic, so-called pandemic and all that, has really given them the extra push. Mm-hmm. And they want to see AI on the road within 5 years.
Wow.
They want to see it within 5 years.
That is
and we've already got them on the road being tested. We've already got them on the road. I mean, they're testing them in Texas. Well, yeah, great. That's perfect weather out there in Texas.
Mm-hmm.
They're testing in the Southwest, but they're not testing where it's icy. They haven't tested whenever a hurricane or a tornado's coming through, things like that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And here's the thing that I wonder is what happens, like the caller earlier, Paul Martin, who was in Kingdom City, Missouri, he just had a turkey vulture go into his windshield. What happens when you have a turkey vulture take out like 3-4 of those dang sensors for the AI truck? Like, is it going to just go wrecking all over the highway?
No, it shuts down right where it's at in the middle of the road.
Oh, God.
And impedes the road.
That's crazy. Crazy. So, you said you're with America Without Drivers is the group you're organizing, correct?
Well,
and then boots on the ground.
I'm not the organizer. Will Cook started it. Him and Greg Anderson started it. And what it is, it's a coalition of all the different groups. We have Black Smoke Matters. We have Boots on the Ground. We have the Punjabi Trucking Association. We have the Latino Drivers Association. We have the Cubano Drivers Association. We have all these different affiliations and different groups. And what it is, we have brought them all together so that everybody can voice their opinion. Everybody can be updated. Each group can do what they want to on their own. All this is a center of information. It's a center location for everybody to get information on what's going on and things like that.
That is tremendous. That is tremendous. Definitely check them out, guys. America Without Drivers. I think this could be very powerful. Like we were saying with social media, it's getting the word out. It's getting us on the same page to where we can communicate. Because if we can't communicate, nothing's going to get done.
And we also have a Twitter account with Twitter. If anybody wants to follow me on Twitter, I'm posting updates as much as I can. I'm constantly tagging Trump and different organizations. And just follow Jessica Courtney Meredith on Twitter. You're more than welcome to follow me. I'll follow you back. And, keep y'all updated. What's going on?
Awesome. Tremendous. Thank you so much for calling in and updating us on everything that's going on and how everybody is coming together to share information and organize.
Hey, not a problem. I mean, we got to work together. If not, we're going to lose everything. We're going to lose it. And we don't fight and fight, we're going to lose everything. I want my grandkids. I know y'all want y'all's kids in this industry someday. If not, we love this industry. If not, we wouldn't be in it.
Exactly.
And, I look at my nieces and nephews coming up. They want to get in the industry. Well, is there going to be an industry left for them? And that's what we're trying to fight for right now.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everything that you do. And be safe on your travels. And I hope you don't have it. I hope you have at least a night or two of smooth sailing after everything else.
Oh, I'm ready for it. That's for sure.
All right. You drive safe and you take care.
I'm gonna probably give you a call tomorrow about some stuff. Okay.
Okay. I will be here.
All right. We'll talk to you later.
Okay. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
It was so nice to hear from Jessica. So many groups right now are stepping up. Like, this is so inspiring to see. And I still, for the life of me, do not get this. There is a huge negative story here. And the negative story is that the press is not covering this. The press is not backing the truck driver. Where are they? We hear Jessica said 30,000 some odd trucks are being repossessed. Where's the story? Where's the story on the lawsuit, apparently against C.H. Robertson? If I wrote that down correctly. Where's the news? Where's the press? We're being ignored. And the thing is, I feel like we're in a revolutionary war in the transportation industry. And that revolution is we're sick and tired of being run over. And the thing is, like when I make a statement about, things, fake news, for instance, I'm not saying vote Trump. I'm not saying don't vote Trump. I'm not being political here. But come on, we need coverage. We need to talk about these things, and we're stepping up. Let's take another caller real fast.
This is a call for Trucker Talk Live from
Jason Bauman.
To accept this call, press 1.
Hey, Jason, you are on Trucker Talk Live. How's it going?
It's going pretty good. How are you?
I am doing as good as can be. So at least we have some positive news in the midst of this craziness.
Yes. Well, I haven't had a chance to really get into the media much because of the way that things have been in the last week since I talked to you. But I have noticed that our company is normally running hard and has been when a lot of other companies weren't. But I noticed that now our loads are being separated to where we're not getting the miles that we were. We're not going as far as we were. And it's concerning me. And I'm going to stick with the company because I'm ride or die. And I just got off the phone with one of my friends. Let me turn this down because bags by the time it gets to my truck. But anyway, so I just got off the phone with him, and he was talking about being concerned about his job, and I told him that I had thought about the same thing, and you know, a lot of good things have been happening. I just got the driver of the month I was telling you last week,
I remember.
and so that made me feel a little bit better, but it's still concerning because none of us are above when things go wrong. You know, we're all going to get it eventually if things go wrong. And I mean, I don't sit and think about these things and dwell on them. I think positive, and my company, everybody that I talk to, is still positive. We're going to make it through this. And that's what we do. We love the industry. We love the people in the industry. We love the people on the roads and the people that we're delivering these products to. And I just hope that people listen to these drivers and what they have to say. I saw just now a driver for a company. The company decided that they weren't going to pay right now because of the situation they were in, and I don't know what the situation was, but the company owner wasn't paying. So there's a Volvo just like yours, but it's white, with a trailer on it, rolled right up on the owner's Ferrari. He drove it up on top of it and then got out of the truck and left it.
Oh my God. That's crazy.
Yes.
I have not seen that. I'm going to have to look for that.
That's crazy. I just shared it on my Facebook, but yeah, I mean, I won't do that. I've gotten to where I'm not even angry anymore when things like that happen, and you have to learn to deal with yourself. But I guess there are people out there who are willing to do whatever it takes to get the message across.
I guess so.
They got pretty dedicated.
That definitely makes a statement. God, it's crazy.
Right.
It's funny though. I mean,
we're
funny. Also
it's
frustrated and worried.
Yeah, and I mean, our lives are at stake, really. And I can't imagine what it's like for the people at home that are out of work. There's a lot of them, you know, and they're frustrated and want to get back to work.
Definitely.
But it's not going to get there. Well, one thing about it, if you look around, we're protesting, we're talking, we're communicating, and we all have different ways of doing it, but we're all out here doing what it takes to get people's attention. So whether it happens all at one time or it's over a period of time, I have a feeling eventually people are going to start listening to truck drivers and paying attention to us and not think it's so negative. But I love everybody. I got a phone call, and I'll get off here, but it was nice talking to you guys, and God bless you. Take care.
Nice talking to you too. God bless. Be safe.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. That was Jason. He called in last week. He gave such an amazing story of how he got into truck driving and his whole life changed. Like his whole life turned around thanks to many factors, but especially the trucking industry. And if you haven't heard that, go back on last week's broadcast, and it was just an amazing story. But the biggest thing right now is, like he pointed out, everybody's got a different way of expressing it. You know, we've got people doing things like driving the Volvo apparently over a Ferrari, the owner's Ferrari or broker's Ferrari, whoever it was. Not saying you don't, I'm telling you, kids, don't do that. Don't drive your Volvo over the Ferrari. Not good. Not good. But we all have different ways of dealing with this. But okay, here's the thing. That's what makes America great in a way. No comment on the Ferrari. We all have different ideas. And the point is that we're coming together. You're seeing this more and more. American Truckers, Brittney and Pink, RTI, CDL Life, Volvo sponsoring this thing, Cobra, to, you know, get out there and show truck drivers that they're not forgotten. We're listening to you. You know, this is amazing. But to have people come together and get the word out, if media's not going to cover this, we will. We will. Who? American Truckers, Brittney and Pink, CDL Life. They've run so many amazing stories. CDL Life is not going to play favorites. And I can tell you, talking to the staff over there, that they are professional journalists. Like, they want several different sources on a story. They want to hear all sides and broadcast the truth. And we're not going to stand for being shushed. We're not going to be shushed. Not anymore. Groups like America Without Drivers, Boots on the Ground, Black Smoke Matters. We've got so many great groups raising the alarm and saying, hey, you're not covering this, we will. So beware, American media, because if you're not going to cover it, somebody else will. And somebody's going to spread this all over the internet. I mean, you don't realize, guys, like there's some media outlets, and I won't name names, that have, you would think they have a massive following. And some of these other groups, some of us have a bigger following than these media outlets. Like, there are more of us than there are of them. And when we come together, when you hit that share button, when you like, when you respond, when you comment to these posts on my group or these groups or RTI or CDL Live, wherever, the point is, if you're doing something to say, this is crazy, I'm going to comment and I'm going to share this. God, can you guys imagine how many friends we all have? And I keep my friendship circle small because, trust me, my last Facebook page had like 5,000 friends, and that was years ago. So I keep my circle small. But even if every one of us had 100 friends, like a tiny little insignificant, you would think, amount, and we spread that video, we spread that post, we spread that talk show, that live stream, it's spreading the voice. Like, you would be amazed, guys, how quickly this stuff spreads. It's like a wildfire. You guys have such a power at your keyboard to raise the alarm and get something done in this country. And you guys are truly the heroes. Let me look back. I want to check some of the comments. We do have this comment feed. I am going to go ahead and discontinue the callers for the night. Let me get that set real fast. We are over 2 hours into the program. Normally we go 7 to 9. I did want to hold it over a little bit to take some of those last callers. Let me hit do not disturb here. But I wanted to check the comments. So let's see, we've got Bobby D says, we support all of you drivers. We love you here in Indy and for all of what you guys do. My father was a driver for 27 years, and you guys deserve so much more than what is given. Thank you so much, Bobby. Like, there is so much support for us across the country, and more people are getting involved. Let's see some of these other comments. Heck, with some of these, heck, with all of the divorces happening over the last 30 years, you know, people don't know how to communicate. Yeah, no kidding. No kidding. But people know how to hit a button. Somebody from Clearwater, Florida. Shout out to Beef 99 watching in Clearwater, Florida. See, the thing is, like, it amazes me. I have to pinch myself because I'm one person. I started a YouTube channel. I started with 1 subscriber. And now look, we have multiple platforms. We're connecting with groups all across the country. And the biggest thing is we're not sponsor sellouts. We're providing a platform to give people a voice, to give you a voice. And one thing that everybody can do is hit the share button, hit the like button, hit the comment, spread the word all over the place. Like, there's so much power in that to change a nation. Because the biggest thing is to get the discussion going. It's to get it in front of the right people and pressure the media, pressure the government to take action. Do we have all the answers? No. But we need to be talking about this. We need to be getting together as a country. We need to be having discussions. Where the hell is everybody? Seriously. And everybody wants to play party politics. You guys know my feeling on that. I won't rant on about that. But the thing of it is, this is America. This is our country. We, the people, need to come together to raise the alarm. Anyway, guys, before this glitches out, I'm noticing some connectivity issues. I am going to go ahead and end this. And let's see. Here we go. There we go. We got to get the music. You can't leave without outro music. But I thank everybody that called in tonight, and be sure to support Fueling Our Heroes. Go over to GoFundMe or just share the posts. Go to CDL Life. Go to our platforms. Just share everywhere and help us support the American truck driver. Until next time, I love you guys. Keep the dirty side down and the shiny side up.
You've been listening to Trucker Talk Live with Brittney Richardson. Be sure to follow her at American Truckers on YouTube and Brittney and Pink on Facebook. Until next time, be safe out there and keep it between the lines.